Acknowledge me.
Leveled by Marvin Constant, the redshirt freshman out of Tuscaloosa.
Oh, they go by now. Let him know he don't want to stop. 65 yards as the ball was thrown away from the line of scrimmage. Gerald Dixon.
Hey, you forgot to see my book.
And you proper.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's Tuesday night. Listen, we got a great show for you. It's the Bama Standard. We know how to rock, and that's why you come back every single week. But before we get started, I have a few things I need you to do. You see down there on the screen, hit that like and subscribe button, live chat. Let's get rowdy tonight. I know y'all been anticipating this guest all day long, and he's got a lot to say. Listen, we're just going to let him do his thing tonight. But before we do, I want to remind everyone, first of all, I'm the host that manages this crew, this fantastic crew. And with me tonight, the all-star crew, headlined by the 1999 All-SEC linebacker. When Ric Flair said to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man. Ladies and gentlemen, he's still that man, Marvin Constant.
Hey, man, it's a pleasure to be here, and it feels good to be here and not be the most controversial person for once.
You still find a way, brother. But not to be outdone, just above him, we got another all-SEC guy in the house, former DB, Mr. Lockdown, both for Alabama and Bills Mafia, scouted for Bills Mafia, one of the greatest evaluators of talent and probably the most controversial man on this panel, but we love him for it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Smoke Dixon.
And you know what? You got to start adding one of the first general managers in college football in there.
I will.
Let's do it.
Yeah, stroke it,
and I got some other stuff that you're going to put in there.
Stroke his ego, Justin. Just give him a little pat. Yeah, just give him.
I don't want to hear nothing about ego. You're going to start telling on yourself.
I apologize, Justin. Keep going. Get my man Pettey going, baby.
We're going to get him. Listen, y'all been seeing him a lot on this network. You know why? Because he's probably the prettiest face on this panel. But not only that, he's gotten a little bit of promotion. He is now on the Bama Standard with us, but he also hosts the opening kick every Monday night. It's 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern with your guy Smoke, and he's also a legend at Galette's on the Strip. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Pettey.
Hey, man, glad to be here with the A-team. I don't know. It's kind of – I'm going to have to echo Marvin. Being the least controversial person in the room is new territory for me, but I'm glad to be here. Let these guys get it going tonight, especially the one under me. I'm ready. I'm really ready to see the other number 4. I always get it going with number 4 on Monday nights. I'm ready to hear this number 4, who I see on Twitter all the time getting it going. So glad to be here tonight with you guys.
And ladies and gentlemen, he is the one and only, the headliner, the showstopper, the undefeated, undisputed king of comedy. He's everybody's cousin, but more importantly, he's the star of the show, Steve Brown.
Mr. Controversy is here.
Man, they let you out on bail. You could have took off the county sweatshirt.
Hey, Marvin, listen, man, listen.
Pause. 20-second timeout. Hold that back up. Flip him.
What you saying, bro?
What we doing?
It was in his property envelope, Smoke, when they released it.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Hey, man, we got Marquis in the building. What's happening, dog?
What's up with you, Steve?
Hey, man, you was a better player than Marvin. But look, man, I'm happy to be here, man. Let's make this happen. You was so much more impactful than Marvin could ever be, man. And we happy you're here, man. Let's get this thing kicking, man. Let's get it kicking.
I tell you what, hey, listen, we got to bring him on the right way. Marvin Constant is responsible for bringing him on tonight. Glad to have him finally back in the room. Marvin Constant, tell the folks who is in the building.
Hey, listen, man, when I say a force beyond forces, man, not only on the field, but off the field, he dominated in every facet of the game when he was at Alabama. Remember the 2009 National Championship game. And the one thing I can say about this man, this is the one man that I seen tell Rolando McClain to go shut up a couple times. When I say wouldn't back down for nothing, oh boy, dog. one and only Marquis Maze, baby.
Hold on, well, you missing something.
I appreciate that.
You missing something. You didn't say he was better than you. Go ahead, say it.
That's two totally different positions.
Punt returner, Sultan of the slot.
Man,
Get open against everybody. When you needed the big play, throw my man Maze way. He got that thing going, baby.
And if you wanted to,
money, bro. I
Appreciate it.
and if you wanted to miss and tackle, call Marvin. He on it.
Hey, listen.
I miss more tackles than Marvin. Marvin ain't miss no tackle in the box. Yeah, no tackle.
Y'all forget every now and then Marquis could throw it a little bit. He threw for a touchdown in 2010 to Michael Williams in the end zone. So he's got a little bit of an arm on him too. What can he do?
Oh man,
I probably couldn't get down in them trenches. I ain't gonna lie to
You
you.
don't think so?
Nah, I probably couldn't do that.
Nah, you don't want no part of that life.
Nah, I
Ball
don't.
game got that
I don't want no part of them trenches.
I done dug a couple of them, but listen.
In Camp 8, nice shirt.
Yeah, bro.
Hey,
Marvin,
Yeah,
you laughing Marvin, you laughing too hard, brother. You laughing a little too hard, brother.
Steve, before we get going, one more time, bro. You look like you on the first series of The Wire with that daggone burner phone, man. Where did you dig that up, bro?
Hey man, listen, that's none of y'all's business, man.
I
None of y'all business.
Listen, I don't want to know what you did with the phone or how you got the phone inside the jail bars.
Hey man, I'm telling you something, man. Y'all wait till I pull out the bag phone next week. Wait till I pull out the bag phone.
When you break them records on Snake, you can't give that phone up.
Hey, he talking about the Nokia. He talking about the Nokia.
Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with it, man. And listen, you see how smooth I flip out. Marquis, look. What's happening, baby?
Yeah.
What's happening, man? What you got going? Yeah.
Your operating system had been upgraded over 20 years.
And then the thing is, if she say get out my face, I'm like, oh, that is okay. Look, see how I shut the conversation down. Hey man,
Yes.
let's get into this, man. I'm excited, man. I don't have a whole lot of time. I got a show, man, but I'm excited to be here, man. Let's get it, Justin. Let's get it.
I don't even know where to begin. Marquis, I've been following you like crazy, as we all have been. You really need a Twitter trophy or some kind of different color pendant or something by your name, because Twitter doesn't start until you get on, and it doesn't start until you get off. So we're ready to hear it all tonight. One thing I want to start out with, brother, and I want you to go ahead and put it in the air right now.
Move on from LANK.
Move on from LANK.
Yeah,
it's time to go a different direction. I'm not going to take this away from you, so I'm just going to hand it off first. Why do we need to move away from LANK, sir?
Honestly, LANK haven't brought us nothing but a paraphrase, and honestly, I don't think we let not one naysayer know nothing. And it's really time, man. It was cool. I guess it was cool for the kids to make some money off of it, and I'm happy for them for doing that for themselves. But at the end of the day, like I said, man, we ain't, as a program, we didn't win when the last time we won a championship? 2020?
20.
Yep.
COVID.
Yeah, it's 5 years, man.
That's too long, man. That's too long.
It's 5 years, and we lanked all the way up until 3 losses last year. Well, 4 losses last year. So I think it's time to recreate this thing, man. And it was a little cool when we had mission statements that really just stayed in house, and we played like that.
Mark Maze, I was gonna say something. To me, it felt like this whole LANK thing got in the way of the play. It got in the way of what was important. A lot of times, because it felt like they wanted to endorse it so bad and make it so much bigger than it was. When you investing all the time in LANK, you should have been investing this time in your playbook. You should have been investing this time in other things. That's all I'm saying. Don't let something be bigger than the team, because it becomes a distraction. Because what about people who aren't associated with LANK? How do they feel about it? What does that do for the locker room? I just felt like it was too much. And like you said, keep it in the locker room.
Marvin, can I go 20-second timeout on both of y'all?
You smoke, do what you do.
Give me a little 20 seconds.
He's going to do it regardless.
So I get the length, and you guys saying that it wasn't a team thing. It was more of a two-person deal, and they profited off that. But again, we have to understand this is a new age that they're allowed to do that. It's a part of their marketing and their brand. And I get it, and I agree with both you guys that once you allowed it to be, once you allowed it into the locker room and you made it now the team mantra or the mission statement, like you said, Keys. Now you're making it into more than just two guys trying to sell their own brand. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't think when you're at Bama, you're never an underdog. There's no naysayers. Everybody's coming after you.
Right.
Period. So you don't have to create some type of unbelievable story of them against us.
That was something for them. That was something for them.
Right. Once
that was, that was for them.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
That was something for them trying to make people believe that the naysayers like, oh, he's not that good. He's not that good. And so we're going to let a person know that we are. So we're going to make y'all believe that we are.
Your play on the field should do
your play on the field should do that. So,
Yeah.
And then another thing, I would say that it's a new team. It's time for a new identity. And that new identity is let's get back to Bama football. That's it. Let's go. Let's make the new the old. Let's go back to kicking asses and taking names. And that's it. Getting that playbook, and that's it.
Well, listening to the guys talk, though, man, that's hearing you guys talk. I think what you're pointing out is Alabama's never been a look at me university. The look at me is the results on the field. You fear us because of what we are as a team and a program, and that kind of stepped away from it. And I know we're in a new era of athlete where you can market these kind of things, so we're going to see this more. But it was a harder pill to swallow because of what you guys are talking about. Alabama's
Petty. That was a soundbite. Say it again.
That and you got to look at one other part of this, how left this almost went, because this almost went real left at one point. If you were watching Pat McAfee, when Pat McAfee was on ESPN and he said what was about to say what he thought it meant, this could have went real well. So,
that's what I thought it was.
And we all listen. 3 out of 5 of us on this panel. Well, 4 out of us can really say the other word that it really stands for. We know what it is. There's no nation.
Well, I'm going to say it.
None of us talk that way.
I'm going to say it.
Right.
No.
But I can't use. That's what I was correcting. I can't. 3 out of 6 of us.
What about when we're in a car by ourselves listening to Snoop?
Say that again, Petty?
No,
What
Petty.
about when we're in the car by ourselves listening to Snoop? We can't sing along.
No, Petty. You cannot sing along, Petty.
Let a Nickelodeon say. Let a Nickelodeon say. Yeah, let a Nickelodeon say. That's what he was talking about the kids. Talking about the kids, right? The Kids Network. Let a Nickelodeon say, because the kids didn't want to watch Bama. So the network is like, so
yeah, but when you look at that name though, and like I said, when Pat McAfee brought attention to it, why would you even want that type of negative connotation to even remotely be associated with your performance at Alabama or any other university for that matter? I wouldn't even want that associated with me, no how, no way.
Right,
Marvin, it was a thing to me. It was bringing self-confidence to themselves, and they wanted to market it. And honestly, the only one who really
to myself every time I hit somebody in the mouth.
Confidence with a paraphrase is if you need self-confidence and you a D1 college athlete and you got to make up a phrase to have confidence, then you don't need to be playing this game. You need to go home and find something else to do. I don't care if it's the new age or man, football is football. At the end of the day, football is football. I don't care about the new age. Yeah, some schemes and things like that is changing, but at the end of the day, it's tackling and scoring touchdown.
All right.
Marquis, let me ask you this. Can I ask you this real quick? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'll leave you alone. I think the only one who won as far as this LANK thing is what's his name, Terrion Arnold, because he did go to the NFL and he started and he proved his point. So, but Milroe, he failed miserably. Come on now, Terrion did pretty well in the NFL.
Hold on.
You don't think so?
I pushed back. How did Milroe fail miserably?
Well, because the interceptions and all this. You know what? I can't say he did, but it just didn't work out like it was planned.
Keep it a book, man. He didn't have a great career.
Yeah, now May said it. Now
Well,
what?
I'm not going to say he didn't have a great career. Hold on, Smoke. I'm not going to say he didn't have a great career, but I will say from year over year, he didn't make the necessary improvements that most would have anticipated he would have made from last year's season.
I'm not saying great as in he just did horribly, but he didn't have a great career. I would take Greg McElroy over him.
As a what?
As a quarterback.
With real good players around him? Or Greg McElroy with that team that he had last year? See, that's what I'm saying. So,
hold on. Greg McElroy with that team he had last year. That was statistically the best defense they'd had since 2015.
Statistically.
Okay.
So, Keys, now, here's what I'm going to always tell you. I'm a guy that I love analytics, but you have to study the numbers. Okay? So, if you're saying statistically one of the best defense they've had, when they have to stop people, they couldn't do it in the run game or in the pass game. And they really couldn't close games out. We watched the last game of the season where a team lined up and they could not throw a forward pass. And they beat the dog crap out of us. Michigan.
Oh,
Hold on. Where were they getting the ball in the territory? Now let's talk about that. Interceptions, fumbles. Again, let's talk about that part.
We're talking about a defense that you're saying statistically. D. Whatever you are as a defense, wherever the ball is put down, boom. If you put it at the 1 yard line, they get 3. If you're that dominant defense, if they did
that against Michigan though.
What was the final score?
I don't know, but they did that against Michigan. They only gave up 2 touchdowns probably. That's
too many statistically with a great defense.
But if you're on the field, you know this by playing defense. You too, Marv. If you on the field 115 plays,
that's a lot.
So you gonna bend a little bit.
Can I ask y'all something?
Hold
on.
Hold on. That plays a role in it, but at the same time, the offense did put them in a lot of bad situations. But me personally, as linebacker, and I'm on defense, and I know they can't even throw the ball. Oh, we up here every damn play knocking their socks off. You ain't finna get nothing. I know all you can do is run the ball. So you damn right I'm gonna take it away.
So are y'all saying that y'all talking about last year's team, this past season, that their defense was statistically what? It was better?
It was statistically it was better. It was close to 20. If you separate, you might not see it, but if you take away, so the Georgia game, most of those were big plays when they came.
Second half, that shouldn't even count. I'm with you on the Georgia game. A lot of those
Georgia game, second half, you got Vanderbilt. They played horrible. Defense played horrible against Vanderbilt.
Horrible.
They were inconsistent, right?
Oklahoma, offensively, they gave interception.
That was the problem.
The offense, they scored 2 touchdowns on the offensive side, on the defensive side of the ball on them,
and plus territory.
Yeah,
and plus territory. So, I mean,
so to be honest,
and we talking about skill wise, offensively, with the skill players that he had, man, it's no way. I guarantee you, if we don't go to the championship, at least we make it to the playoffs with Greg McElroy on that team.
So
I agree.
So are y'all saying that the offense pretty much lost all the games we had this past year? The offense lost games.
No, not Vanderbilt.
It was a combination of both.
It's a combination of both.
I hear this, and I'm not crushing Greg, and I respect Greg as a leader and a contributor to the great team that he played with. Like, I don't think Greg played with as poor as the receivers as they had this year. They had one receiver that scared anybody, and it was a freshman that at times,
and that's terrible.
They got pushed around. Like Keys, I'm with you, but personnel-wise, this Bama team was not up to par. This is probably one of the worst personnel-wise and talent-wise team that I've seen in a long time. In the
I
NFL,
don't.
let me get this out. In the NFL draft, will tell you that the guys that got called to the combine will tell you that this team wasn't up to par. Now, did Jalen play consistently good enough to overcome a lot of hurdles? No. But I can't put everything on him when he basically won you that Georgia game as well.
I want to address that. Good segue. Marquis, we haven't heard from you regarding Jamarcus Shepard and his viral moment on the Tide That Binds series is playing right now. He talked about not having any dogs in the wide receiver room other than the two, Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams. So my question to you, we've heard Smoke. He says receivers are divas, so they're going to complain about not getting the ball anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm with Smoke.
I want to ask the question, did we not have the dogs, or do we have dogs who honestly were fed up because they couldn't get the ball distributed to them the way it needed to be? If you watch the All-22 film, the receivers were all open quite often. They weren't being seen. If the ball was thrown to them, it was either over their head or it was thrown in a way where they had to contort their body to make the catch.
Or they were surprised it was coming.
Or they're surprised it was coming. Right, Steve. So as a wide receiver, does that reflect negatively on you, or does it reflect negatively on another source? Does it cause you to kind of step back and not quite, I guess, want to give the effort?
So on the dog thing, I think we didn't utilize one of the dogs that transferred. He wasn't a great route runner, but he was awesome at blocking and jet sweeps, and we didn't utilize that enough for him, for that kid. He gone now.
Are you talking about Kendrick Law?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't a great hands catcher.
He wasn't a real receiver. He's just a gadget guy.
He just but we didn't utilize him to help us.
Agreed.
At times it was on the receiver sometimes too. Sometimes you got to make the quarterback look good. Hell, Greg didn't throw the ball perfect all the time. AJ didn't throw the ball perfect all the time. So as a receiver, you go and make those plays knowing that what you up against.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, we seen at times where it looks like he didn't read the field well.
Correct.
So it's things that maybe if he get a better quarterback coach and he could work on some of his things, then he might end up being a great or a good enough pro. I hope that for him. Like, I don't wish nothing bad for the kid, but he just wasn't. Alabama do not need an ultra athletic quarterback. We have athletes, and that's always been the case. We have athletes around them. Get them the ball, let them make plays.
Not this year. Sorry.
You saying that, but I guarantee you, two or three of the guys get drafted off of this team this year, and they coming back. That's why we don't have any guys. And then we didn't lose any. We lost Miro.
So you're saying that
Ryan Williams is a top 5 pick. Jermaine Bernard, Jeremy Bernard, probably late first round, second, third.
Hey, listen,
and you gotta check out Jalen Hale.
Can I get a bet on that?
Jalen Hale get back. He was hurt.
But Bernard go higher than that though.
I want to bet on that Bernard. Marvin, you said he going first round too?
I'm not saying he's going first round.
I said late first to third.
I say somewhere in the second.
Yeah, can I get a bet on both of those?
Yes.
Good. Lord, they didn't turn the Bama Standard to a bookish joint.
They did, Steve. We church folks.
But I honestly think, with the year Ryan had, Ryan was great. But honestly, when it came down to clutch plays, Bernard was the man.
Bernard. And you know, some of the thing is, I noticed. Did you notice this, Marquis? Where when they bracketed Ryan, the game was over. It seemed like he couldn't go to nobody else. Nobody else could get free. Did you notice that, Smoke? When they bracketed him,
I seen a guy throw an interception on a fade route.
Yeah, that was against Michigan.
Tennessee too.
Yeah, bad read.
Tennessee too. To
Bad
the same guy. So I mean,
your guy catch it or go out of bounds. It's simple. That's simple.
But
But
we've also seen him not lose against Georgia.
right. He played lights out first
so-
half. He played lights out.
So we've seen the good and we've seen the bad. It's just for him. It's a roller coaster, just like that team last year was a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
And me, when you have an inconsistent quarterback, that has a lot to do with him, but also the position that he's put in.
Right.
And when you have a possible second, first, or third round pick at the quarterback position, Keys, like you said it, that's 10 wins. I don't care where you put it. That's 10 wins.
Right.
And if you're not getting that, there's something wrong overall with the entire program, just not that one guy.
No, I'm not blaming the whole season on him.
I know.
I'm just blaming part of it on him.
Yeah. May I ask one question? Let me ask you this: Do y'all think Justin? And this is to the panel. Panel. You guys think that he would have had a better season as a quarterback if Grubb had been there versus the offensive coordinator we had?
No.
I think it's players,
Because
not
you
plays.
can't teach fundamental. It was too late in his career to be teaching him how to read defenses, how to go through his progressions. Some of those things, because Grubb comes in, smoke. How are you gonna teach him some of these things in the last hour? Come on, what are you gonna really learn in the last hour?
And Grubb is probably more complicated. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna say this: like reading coverages and understanding concept. Everybody that knows it takes time and you have to go through it. But it's a building process. The process doesn't start during the season; it starts during the off season. That's where you have to put in the work as you're a quarterback yourself. The player has to do it. Well, when you find out that, and this is about 85% of all quarterbacks in the world cannot make full field reads, and at times he was asked to do that. Half field reads for a guy like that is the simplest form to get him going.
Well,
and there's some, and let me finish my thought. And there's some quarterbacks that the third option is truly their legs, and at times you saw him trying to do a pocket quarterback situation when he's not a pocket quarterback. There's times that he's asked to throw RPOs. Every quarterback is not a quarterback that can throw RPOs, right? That's run pass option and throw it to spots. That's not
crazy. That's right? Everybody got problems. Wow.
So with that, I'm always going to say, as a coordinator, you have to find a role for your player, and it's about players and personnel, not your scheme, especially when you're coming there year one with a guy that's already established himself, who he is. Like, just fit in the box, get the best you can get out of it, and move on. Go ahead, Joe.
So Miro can't read defenses, and Marvin can't read. Everybody got problems. I tell you, it's crazy.
To read offense, I knew how to make adjustments and put.
It's crazy.
Pettey, weigh in, brother. You were
so I want to know what if, hypothetically speaking,
are you asking me?
If this year with a different quarterback, we have a better result, then what would you say? What would if in the same offense,
right?
Minus Hayes, minus Booker, minus the right tackle, minus a few guys that's gone.
Yeah.
So
what am I going to say if they win 10 games instead of 9?
No, get to the playoffs. Not get to the playoffs, win those games. Not even win a championship.
Just get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
what would
we all know.
So would it be a plus, or would we say that? Oh, it might have been. I'm just hypothetically speaking. It might have been quarterback play, and it's okay to say that we could. We say when Pat Mahomes play bad. We say when anybody else play bad. Why is it against the law for us to say Miro play bad?
And at no point am I ever saying that he played good. I just said you can't just solely put it on.
No, I ain't putting the whole. I can't. I just said I'm putting some of it.
Right.
Not the whole season. I'm not putting the whole season on him.
So if you have a better record and you get to the playoffs and you get booted in one game, yeah, that's a plus. But they were one place away from getting into the playoffs. Now, they were the 13th team.
Right.
Yeah, so they were just one vote away from getting in. So would it be a plus? Absolutely, because second year season, you went up one. You got into the playoffs. So yes, it's a plus. But I'm not going to say, well, it's because Jalen Milroe's not here. No, I'm going to say they did a better job as a team and got it done.
So another thing, and I want to blame Coach DeBoer for it. He should have benched. He should have benched him like Coach Saban did, and maybe that would have put another spark in him. Maybe.
He should have LANK t-shirts.
You know what? I blame. I honestly, I pull for him like I pull for any quarterback. I'm gonna tell you something. I just believe, just really looking at it, it was him and the offensive line. If you just want to, if you want to look at it technically, it was him and a terrible offensive line. I mean, that
right tackle. That right tackle was terrible. That right tackle.
Pritchard, that
right tackle was terrible. Whoever the hell they put over there, he was terrible.
Yeah, he would.
And he should never wear Alabama jersey again.
We would have momentum and he would blow it.
He's in Nebraska now.
That's why I'm Wilkin Thornby down.
But see, they get in their feelings instead of, you know what I'm saying? If this was me on the other side of things, I'd be like, oh, them motherfuckers saying I'm garbage. I'm going out here and proving wrong. I ain't got to go on the internet. Oh, they hating on me, this and that. I ain't hating on you. The film is.
But everybody don't have that level of dog in them to take that step back. Some people would rather just go run and go to a fresh start. But a true killer or somebody who's truly in, stayed there.
Or guys, maybe they just aren't that good, and they're not good enough.
Well, maybe you should just be content run a scout team.
Bro, hold on. It's okay for somebody to go out there and just not be good enough, but have a better player
Marquis,
there to put him in. So every time somebody fails or they don't play well, it's always a question of toughness, dog, and want to. That's not always the case. Maybe the case is they're just not up to the level of play.
Marquis,
everybody's not good. Everybody's not good.
Marquis, I feel what you're saying. I was a dog on that scout team. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Man, I was too my first year.
I was a dog.
And that's in my first year, man. I had
But you got off. I stayed on it.
Yeah, but that was a testament, and the thing about that was a testament of who I was as I was lanking in real life. I was really lanking because I felt like I should have played my first year, but at the same time I didn't, so I came back and grind. These kids don't have that level or that mentality no more. It's all right.
Not all of them.
I'm leaving.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Not all of them. The majority though. You seen it? How many kids in the portal right now?
1,100.
Yeah,
it's showing you that it's more kids that like to tuck that tail.
Yeah,
so Marquis, let me ask you a question. Hypothetically speaking, all right. So you're at Bama and it's your sophomore year or junior year, and you go off 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, you All-American, and you have school B that's offered you $800,000 to play. Are you going to stay at Bama and play for $300,000?
Me, yes. Because for one, and I'm telling you, money has never moved me. So in that case, I would have never went to Alabama if it was for that. So, like I'm saying,
soundbite.
I could go somewhere else. And get that $800,000 and have a terrible year and don't get drafted. But I know where I'm at. I know what I have going on over here. I know my teammates. I know everything about this program. 1 year is not going to define. Prime example. Isaiah Bond.
Yep.
He had 700 yards over here at Alabama. Went over there to Texas.
Yep.
Things didn't work out. Had 500 some yards.
He's still gonna get drafted.
He's still gonna get drafted, but it's less production. But he's not gonna get drafted as high as he would have.
He ain't gonna get drafted as high.
He wouldn't have got. Listen, if he would have stayed at Alabama, got 900 yards, he was still going to go exactly where he's going to go.
He shouldn't have been at the combine. Somebody about to break this 40 record. That's what he shouldn't have done.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I want to help you guys out a little bit. And just speaking of my background as a talent evaluator for NFL. If you had 5,000 yards and another guy had 2,000 yards, but he is 6'2", tested better, and you had better traits that project well for the NFL, yeah, I'm still going to take the guy with the less production. That production don't mean you're going to get drafted high. There's a bunch of guys that produce in college that can't play a lick in the NFL.
That's probably why so many busts in the NFL though.
That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
Yeah.
Of what we're talking about. But there are more players in the NFL that can play than less that can't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So with every situation like that, we can always say there's a lot of busts just because of the sheer numbers. But if Isaiah Bond stays at Alabama, he's not going in the first round. There's only 32 taken, and if you look at their skill set, which receiver is he better than that's going to go in the first round?
A lot of them that are going to our team.
Well, going in, I ain't really sold on the receivers in this draft, except for the kid out of Arizona.
That's T-Mac, and if you want to call if you want to call Travis Hunter receiver solely, Travis as well too.
Yeah, but Travis got a lot of work to do if he want to play receiver. Honestly,
that's a whole nother day, a whole nother story. I disagree with you on that too. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, he's super athletic, but I've never seen him run too many routes. But a go, I mean, you know this. He's not gonna be able to run a go every play in the league or a hitch.
Travis can run routes.
Unless you're Randy Moss.
Travis can run.
and you got to get the personal situation in order too. So that's going. Ooh.
I don't get in man person. I don't get in the man person. Stay away from that.
Real quick, Steve Brown, I know you had to bounce. We appreciate your time, brother. We appreciate the comments and all the content you provide tonight. Before you go, tell folks how they can find you and what you got coming up next.
You can find me in the hey man, listen, I'll be in Nashville, Tennessee this weekend, man. At the Joker's Comedy House, man. 2 shows already sold out. So y'all make sure y'all come check me out, man. Also, man, I got a real big request, man. Marquis, you've been keeping it so 100 online. Twitter, you be blowing it up, man. Have you ever thought about joining the coaching staff to bring the dog, or just bring the dog out of some of these guys?
Man, their kids will leave if I was coach.
Hey, you said they're gonna leave anyway.
Hold on.
That's why we gotta go and get us some little 3 stars, man.
Yeah,
and
they
build
want
them
it.
up. Yeah.
Hey,
Justin Marvin finna say something crazy.
See, Smoke called flag on the play. You in Nashville and he ain't got no tickets. He ain't got no nothing. My man Smoke, you see Smoke over the collar.
I got you,
and he's trying to pretend like he don't know him in Nashville.
I got you, man. I got you.
Smoke over there sending smoke signals. He tapping. He doing everything.
He's obviously working the prison circuit this week. So
Hey, man, I'm leaving this show. I'm sick of this.
And Steve, we got to bring you down to Tuscaloosa 8-day weekend, man. Even if I got to put up on it, man.
Hey, man, that's cool. Hey, all I need is some hot wings and a Diet Coke. I'm there.
That's simple.
We can make it happen.
Hey, y'all, I'm about to leave. All my 3 fans follow me. I'm leaving.
All right. We appreciate you, brother. All right.
Honestly, I am looking forward to seeing how this offense operates under Sheridan. I'm looking forward to seeing if the receivers respond to a different quarterback. I just want to see what the differences will be between last season and this season. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm going to be always careful on what you ask for, because Ty Simpson's been there for 3 years. All right. And we've seen a quarterback controversy and a quarterback by trial every year that he's been there. It's not like he didn't get his opportunity. Every quarterback 2 years ago got an opportunity. He ain't show up. And that everybody got a shot. Even the guy that played lacrosse got a shot.
Well, honestly, I got my eye on a couple other quarterbacks besides him.
And then even last year, when the quarterback was playing so poorly, if you believe that he had something in him, I don't care who you are. You got to find a way, like you said, Keys, to put him in there and give the other guy a shot to get your team going if you're a true leader. regardless of what LANK thinks, you got to get the best players on the field. Because if I'm on that team and I know that the backup gives us a better shot, and you're not putting them in the game, yeah, as a leader, I'm coming to you as a head coach or coordinator and say, hey, man, listen, this ain't it. And I know you as a receiver would have went up to him and said, hey, boss, what's happening?
Yeah.
That thing got to come to him.
But that's another thing. All these kids, you said the kids a little different now. They might not speak their mind like I would. And I think me personally, I think DeBoer was kind of scared of the backlash you would get if he did bench the kid.
That's a huge part right there.
Are you
That's
a
a
true
huge
leader?
part that people won't ignore.
He might not. He might not be.
So how you gonna get to that playoff and get in the top 12 if you don't have a true leader grabbing that bull by the horn and pulling them forward when they need to get pulled?
I think maybe, man, it was a lot. It's honestly, to me, I think coming in and replacing Nick Saban in the first year, man, it's tough. I mean, hell, he lost 28 guys before he got there to the portal. So it was like, shit, man. If I do this, I lose more guys. I don't know.
He really lost one guy in the portal that was gonna count, and that's the best. That's the best safety in Bama history.
Right, that counted. I mean, we all know that really counted, but at the same time, you never know what guys from year 1 to 2 could possibly be.
Agree 1,000%. But
I think you hitting on it like in a roundabout way too. What people just don't want to accept. We're in a transition year, and look, man. Regardless of what you want to say about Milroe or not, he was one of the best athletes on the team, but he was having a new coaching staff come in that ran a completely different offense that wasn't fit for him. It was square peg, round hole. So, does he shoulder the blame for not being able to run the offense? Well, yeah, because he's the damn quarterback of the team. That's the way it works. That's the way that rolls. But on the flip side, he's also running an offense that's not fit for him. If you put Milroe in a Dan Mullen, Urban Meyer type offense where you look, Tebow couldn't throw for shit, and he looked like Superman, and he can't run like Milroe can. But it was square peg round hole, and it wasn't working. We're in a transition year, and you said something, Maze. You bench him, and then you're dealing with possibly an outbreak in the locker room and keeping it together. People just got to accept this was a transition year. There's going to be some ugly shit sandwiches you got to eat sometimes in those, and doing that, and that might have been it.
And 9-3 year 1 is not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Let's talk about the offense a little bit. Marvin, you alluded to it just a few minutes ago, and it's the identity of the offense. We're praising Ryan Grubb for coming in. Same playbook, but maybe he can do it a little bit better. What's Alabama's identity going to be with Ryan Grubb? We honestly have not known our identity in quite some time. Even going back to Bryce Young, he was the offense. He was the identity. It wasn't like pre-Saban, or not pre-Saban, but before the last national championship, where you knew what you were getting week after week. There was confidence amongst all the players. We knew what we were going to do, but it seemed like we relied on one person to kind of define the entire offense. Last year, Jalen Milroe, the offense, it either succeeded or failed based on how he responded. What happens under Ryan Grubb? What's this offense going to look like? Do we have confidence now with this change at the helm that things are going to be better? Is it the coach that's going to save it? Or do we go back to what Smoke said? It's the players, not the plays. I'm leaning more towards personnel than anything. But I need to hear from you. Let me hear from you guys in the audience as well. Marvin, you got a look on your face. I'll start with you, then go to Marquis, then up to Pettey, then Smoke.
I mean, it comes down to one thing. It doesn't matter. You can have the greatest scheme in the world. Come down to Jimmy's and Joe's, baby. Listen, if you got the horses or you don't, I'm telling you, listen. Because, again, you can only execute so much. And if a man's whooping your ass, he's just whooping your ass. If you ain't got nothing for him, you ain't got nothing for him.
Marquis?
Me?
Yeah.
Honestly, I know we got some good receivers down there. I mean, I know it. And I know we got good running backs. Jam is a good running back. I think the kid from Florida should have got more burn than he did. Uh, yeah, he was the number one running back in the country, man. But the way he moved when he do get his opportunity, you could tell he due for a breakout. Uh, Offensive line, we need some help. We returned the center, which is a good thing.
Jaden Roberts comes back to
Jaden Roberts.
Jaden Roberts come back. Hopefully he could stay healthy this year.
right.
Injury was a big thing for him last year.
Wilkins Farnsby at right tackle. I think with some weight and more experience, I think he's gonna be fine.
Right.
And
So honestly, I think if we just get a quarterback that can just get our guys the ball, don't take sacks, take the check down, throw it away. Don't make do not limit your mistakes. Just limit the mistakes. And I think we'll be out because we return pretty much everybody on defense. It was another guy that I know everybody liked, but I really didn't
say it.
on defense. On defense, I know it's a lot. To me, he very limited. And if I seen that motherfucker on the island, he was gonna die. It is 13, man. 13 was not that guy to me, man.
Speak up, man. Say your mind. I respect.
13 was limited.
And we're talking about Malachi Moore?
Yes.
Okay. And my question to you is, what was his limitations in coverage?
Speed. He didn't have enough speed to cover. He just wasn't. And now you got these guys are consistently running 4.2s, 4.3s.
And did you ever have an issue with his overall leadership and the antics that he pulled especially during the Vanderbilt game?
I don't have a problem with that because I seen a player. I have a problem with if you're not going to be that guy to step up and make everybody do it the right way.
Right.
But I don't have a problem with how he at because I seen Rolando do the same thing. I seen Rolando do worse. Right. But he was the same guy that we could count on to go make this play for us.
Right.
And when he mess up, he gonna come back strong. That's the difference in the leadership. But I guess he was trying to be that leader, but sometimes it come off the wrong way when you know. And then I look at it a little different, man. You come from a good background. You ain't come from that kind of background to be acting like that.
Right. And what I would say, just to back you on that, is I thought that the defensive scheme it's predicated around him.
Right.
And when one of your best players when one of the positions in need in a playmaking position is not making the plays,
right,
you're asking them to do too much. You're asking them to, and I'm talking about Malachi Moore, and I think he's a solid player. But when you're
very smart, like know where to be, know how to do it.
He's played forever, so he should have.
Right.
So when you're asking a solid player to do great things in a role that he truly can't produce and give you the right production in that role, added on leadership, sometimes a lot of that weight is too much for a single player like that. And that's why I say that's not on the player. You have to know your personnel in order to put them in that situation and ask them to do that repeatedly. And what you saw in the Vanderbilt game was a young man that just got broken.
Right.
And was fed up with the lack of.
Well, in that Vanderbilt game, he didn't get a lot of help from his middle linebacker because his run fits was straight trash that game. Oh, my God.
But, Marvin, when I was at the Vanderbilt game, and I don't mean to go off, I told my wife and my kids, I said, I'm going to see how they go ahead and fit this run scheme up on the first play. And once I saw how they was trying to fit it up and overlap and they wanted to send it back to the right guy, the free hitter, the safety, wasn't showing up in the right gap, I said it's going to be a long, long game. And that's why I pushed back against you, Marquis, when you said defensively they were good. Defensively, there were a lot of holes on that team in terms of scheme-wise, fit-wise, structure. Like, I think I know a lot of ball.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you that, and I can't tell you what their identity was last year on defense, or what they
didn't have one. I honestly, I don't see how we'll have 5 DBs on the field in the silver personnel. I never that folks. I mean, and it's a lot of people that don't know ball come on my Twitter when I say something about the 4-2-5. As soon as one play look good, they wanna jump down and throw. Hey, you see that play? And I'm like, bro, 4-2-5 is for a nickel. It's a nickel defense.
That's against 11 personnel. That's one tight end, one running back. When they go with 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 running back, you got to bring the big zone.
Right.
Because you can't ask a 190-pound guy to go in there and insert himself in the C gap.
You're going to get murdered in the run game.
And his middle linebacker was not doing him any. If you go back and watch the tape, that middle linebacker play was atrocious.
But Marvin, again, I'm telling you that there wasn't every single time there wasn't a defined run fit rule for me. Now I'm not in the playbook, but if I'm watching the all 22 Marquis, and I see them running inside zone repeatedly, and you're fitting it 3 different ways, and you got your defensive line playing it one way, and the next time they play the other. If I'm a linebacker, Marvin, you rolling the dice. And every single time, I'm just picking.
But let me ask you guys this, though. Marvin, this is for you linebackers because you're talking about this. Is it not your eyes in the wrong spot?
No, hold on. This is what I'm talking about, though, Smoke. This is what I'm talking about. If you watch the tape, especially that Vandigan, a lot of times it was just lack of effort. He wasn't even running full speed. The way he was letting that guard and that tackle reach him, I'm like, you're not even trying to get over the top. So you're setting that whole player up for 50.
And Marvin, I get what you're saying. And I don't disagree. But if you are a linebacker, you consistently have offensive linemen on you. What are those defensive tackles doing? You know, in Coach Saban's defense, it was your job as a defensive lineman to
do not let them get them on my linebackers.
Right? And if it's a 4 down, Marvin, okay, if you're gonna let me get blocked by a guard and a tackle, defensive lineman, you better make that daggone play.
That's why I cuss Kenny out so much when he out there fucking up. Hey, listen, man, do your job.
Well,
going out here, be where you supposed to be.
Let's circle back real quick. Let's get back to the original topic. Pettey, I want to hear from you, especially when it comes to this offense. What is it going to look like next year? This wide receiver group, I feel like it's probably going to be a lot better than the previous season. I like the talent we have coming back. I think these guys are what we needed. But we also got some horses in that backfield. Richard Young, due for a breakout year. Jam Miller has a great opportunity to go out his last year and show something for the NFL scouts. But then we also have a guy like A.K. Deere, a young freshman showing a lot of promise. So do we go back to a run-heavy offense, or do we have a more balanced style? What's it going to look like? What does Ryan Grubb do with these guys that maybe Sheridan wasn't able to this past season?
Well, that's what's crazy. People are going to look at this, and this goes back to what I was saying about Milroe before. I think it was square peg, round hole. We never got to see – Sheridan never got to call the offense or open up the full playbook because it had to be limited based off what your quarterback's capabilities are. It could look completely different, and it's the same damn playbook just because you can go about it differently. Now, the one thing I will say is, man, their experience matters when calling in-game, and Grubb is going to have that experience over Sheridan of the in-game play calling. But, I mean, it's going to look different by default of having a completely different quarterback, different skill set. I mean, if you know, whether it be Simpson or whether Russell comes in and is everybody what he thinks he can adapt that quick to it, you know, I think you're just going to see a different offense. And, yeah, you've got guys like Isaiah Horton coming in, the 6'4" kid from Miami, who's a big-time playmaker at receiver. I think Nico makes a big jump this season. I thought the kid had a lot of athletic ability and flashed a lot last year. Again, don't get many opportunities, though, when you're in an offense where only 1 or 2 guys are getting targeted. So I think that's a long route of saying I don't think the playbook's going to be much different. But, yeah, it could look a lot more like the Washington offense we were expecting to see last year, but just couldn't because of the pieces we had in place.
Okay. Smoke, tie this up with a bow.
Yeah, I'm going to go backwards. I heard the Washington offense, but I'm going to say it again. The Washington offense had Rome Odunze first round, Michael Penix first round, two third-round receivers, and both of the left tackle and right tackle are both starters in the NFL. Now, I'm not really good at math, but that's a damn good NFL team. So I'll say it again. It's about the personnel, not the plays that's being called. And as much as we want to sit here and say that this guy's going to have success, that guy's going to have, Jam Miller's been in college for 4 years now. I think he's a solid player, but he's not to the running back skill set that we've known at Alabama in the last 17 years. All right. So my question to you, Justin, is I don't know what this offense is going to look like. Because I don't know, I don't see the playmakers right now in this offense to be explosive. I know Ryan Williams. Rico Scott is the name that you're going to look for.
Yeah.
Brooks is another young receiver out of Jersey that can make some plays. But again, you're counting on three young guys to be your explosive playmakers. Like Bernard can move the chains, and that's what he is. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to get tackled. He's going to be gritty. And he's going to be tough. But who are your explosive playmakers that you can count on? Because your quarterback is only going to be a guy that's going to be a win-with player that gets the ball in the right player's hands. But if he's not an explosive player and not the guy, and he's counting on personnel to make this offense look great, you're going to have to tell me who are the guys that are explosive playmakers that's going to make this offense thrive.
Gotcha. Listen, we got a couple of questions from the audience before we go a rapid fire round, and then we'll start to close things up. Toughest Nails question: was it a mistake for Mbakwe to switch to wide receiver? Marquis, I'll let you take this.
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna back you on this, Marcus. But I'm gonna go the other way because I've had a couple of players that were highly skilled athletes, but no knock on you because you're a receiver and I'm a DB. It's a different mentality when you play DB to receiver, and I think you could have been a damn good DB yourself if you wanted to be, because you have these traits. You have a trait of understanding tough play. Understand if I do get beat, you said it earlier, I'm gonna bounce back and get you back the second time. I don't think that Mbakwe naturally has that in him. But he's a great talent in terms of height, weight, speed, and explosiveness. So when you have that, you have to nurture that. Put that on offense because every now and then you get open, you catch the ball, you score. As a DB, when you get beat, man, the whole world's against you. And it might not sit well with you and how you feel. Does that make sense? That's why I said I think that what he's doing on offense, moving the offense, is probably good enough for him because you got to have a different type of mentality to play on the defensive side.
And the reason I said, the one reason I said that was it's bad because you got guys that this all they have done was play receiver. Like I get you in high school and you can run a go route or you can run a screen and you're faster than everybody, you outrun everybody. But that's typically, it's not going to happen in college like that.
Correct. I agree.
So I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I just don't. I think he should have.
Yeah.
But like you said, the intangibles that you see in him, far as defense, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he just gonna be a great athlete that could have done. I don't know.
And Keith, you said something earlier. The demeanor of a DB, I never in my life once talked about going over to play receiver because I hated you guys.
Right.
It's just no, and it's just something inside of you that says, nah, I am tougher mentally, and I'm not gonna go over on that side because they get one or two balls and they score, they all celebrating. Like, no, I want to punch some dudes in the mouth. And you gotta have that type of attitude like you had. You played receiver like a defensive back. Tough as hell. You were tough in the run game, bro. You blocked. Yeah. Most receivers ain't doing it.
Man, I ain't have a choice. I wanted to stay on the field. Plus, I wanted to, and plus I knew, like, man, I wanted to win. So I was doing whatever it take to win. Like, yeah, of course I want the ball. Hell, what receiver don't? But if I know and it's just the type of offense we played in, so that was a part of it.
Right.
I think Mbakwe is a better defensive player than he is offensive player. Hell of an athlete. I agree with you completely, Smoke.
Yeah.
My question is, who are you going to give his reps to in that wide receiver room? There's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of guys who are hungry, who've been playing that position for several years, like you said, Marquis. Who are you going to tell to sit down to give Jalen Mbakwe those reps that, you know, he got out of the portal to take?
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna tell him. He just got to go out there and compete.
Right.
So if you're not a competitor, like if you get, cause hell, it's just like if you get beat deep, dropping a pass can break your confidence too. So I mean, it just depends on and going across the middle and getting hit is a lot different than going across the middle and hitting somebody.
No.
So
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, that's the type of things he gonna have to deal with. And from me watching him over the years, he don't like to get touched. So I don't know if that's gonna work playing receiver.
What? That ain't gonna work playing the other side.
No,
That
it's
ain't gonna
not.
work playing.
Yeah,
nothing.
right.
Yeah, you
Well,
mean.
ho. We did have a guy that didn't like to touch on the DB side of the ball a couple years ago.
Yeah, Kool-Aid. Keep going.
Yeah.
Well,
You keep on throwing these names. You keep on just throwing these.
No, I'm just saying he wasn't the guy that liked the physical play. And
Four
he was
knows
a timid
four.
runner too when he caught the ball on punt returns.
4 knows 4. I told you before we got on. You throw him up, I'm gonna dunk him, bro.
and people get mad at me and call me a hater, but I mean football is supposed to be physical, and that's just what I know it to be, and what I'm gonna always know it to be.
Real quick, I'm gonna give a shout out to Ann for the $4.99. We greatly appreciate that.
Thanks, Ann.
Thanks, Ann.
And you gotta throw me that question again, babe. Come on.
Bring the question with it, Ann.
Maybe you already answered the questions before she asked them.
Nah, she got another one.
Kinefe, question. Maze, if you had 3 pieces of advice to this whole 2025 team, what would it be? Thanks for all you have done for Bama.
The one piece of advice I would say, man, is go out there and be a team, man. They really have to love each other. I mean, hate each other at practice, but love each other, man, and do whatever it takes to win. And that's just all it boiled down to. So if I know my man on the other side doing his job, I know I can do my job, and everybody do their job together. Then I mean, you have success that way.
Well said. Before we get to our lightning round, I want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors. Listen, your game day is never complete. The season never truly ends. What better way to support your Alabama Crimson Tide during football season and now during basketball season with the 2 toughest games remaining on the schedule? Get your title towel at www.whitwillsports.com today. Enter the promo code STANDARD. Get you a nice little discount courtesy of your favorite network, the Bama Standard Network. All right. I want to go.
Petty, can I say something real quick?
I've been practicing.
The Bama Standard needs to make a flag for me for every single time that you hold up your daggone towel. Justin, you don't know. He's been practicing holding up the right way because he has it upside down.
I spend 2 hours before the show in front of a mirror just doing this.
It does. All right, real quick, guys. Think about what you're going to say. Go around the room. We'll start with Smoke. I'm going to go to Pettey, then down to Marvin. Marquis, tell me one thing that you demand to see from this team in the spring.
Toughness.
Discipline.
Letting the pads doing the talking, not the mouths.
How they respond to adversity.
Well said. Well said. Well, folks, we have had a tremendous show tonight. Can't thank you enough for being a part of the audience. Before we go, we're going to go around the room real quick, and we're going to let everyone know how they can find us. We'll start out with the superstar himself, Marvin Constant. Tell people how they can find you. Then up to Smoke, then over to Pettey, and then Marquis, our guest, will go last.
They can find me on Instagram, Constant45, and Twitter or X, Constant451. And Chuck, the one thing I look forward to the spring is hopefully no more damn ice cream. Don't bring no damn ice cream truck out there. No.
You can find me on X or Coach Smoke GVDDIXON. Coach Smoke Dixon. Listen, can I ask our guest one quick question before we get out of here?
You can, but also Ann finally has her question for you. So after you ask that, I got her question for you.
You know what? Ladies first.
Okay, ladies first. Hold on. The chat is moving. All right, Ann, Smoke, do you think Coach KD made the right decision changing offensive coordinators?
Absolutely. I always believe in go with your first gut instinct, and he wanted Grubbs to come along with him. Nick Sheridan was just the second place holder that he was second place, number 2 fiddler. So he just went along with him because he knew the offense, but don't think he truly trusts them to call the game like he wanted to. This guy, he believes and he trusts it. So there goes your answer.
Yes, sir. All right.
Team, listen, we've been running a series, okay, on top 5 players at each position. Yesterday we finished up with the linebackers. My list was outstanding. Pettey's list sucked. Marvin's list was garbage. So we haven't those. The players were good, but their list was garbage. Now, as one of my favorite players, forget accolades and all that, the way that you played the game, and you rocked the best number at Bama, 4. We know that.
Right. That's right.
Life. That's why we speak our mind. Everybody knows about us. I'm going to ask you right now to give me your top 5 wide receivers in Bama history. Let's go.
Man.
On the spot.
Oh, man. Let's go. Julio 1.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith 1B.
That's 2. Smitty, we're not going to go.
Devontae Smith 1B, man. I got to give it to my boy.
That'll be 2.
All right, I go Coop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Dang.
That's it. Pressure cooker.
Cool.
Deuce Palmer.
Man,
You can say David Palmer if you want to.
Nah, I ain't saying David.
No shot.
David great. Now David great. Don't get it twisted. But David was an athlete.
Ridley. You got Calvin. You got Ruggs.
Calvin Ridley.
You got Waddle. You got
Waddle.
Judy.
Okay, you got Judy and
Freddie
Waddle.
Millens.
Freddie Millens was a dog, man. But
I'm putting Freddie over Deuce.
You got 2 more. Hey, Petty, this ain't your list. It's my man. You see, you won't go on this all crazy.
I got Jared, Judy, and Waddle.
That's solid as hell.
Nope.
Can't leave Waddle out. That man, God.
Nah, Waddle's good. Yeah, that's good stuff.
You know,
that Maze guy, he was pretty good.
Hey, listen now, Justin. He's gonna have to come on our reaction show because we got this list coming out.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're going to be part of the reaction show, Marquis.
Because DJ Hall gonna say something to you as well too, and so is Post Throw. So it's all good.
Ooh,
How you gonna set that man up like that? Throw DJ and Pro Throw out there on the back of his head.
I got DJ in my top. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Okay. I'm sorry for breaking up the chemistry. Go ahead. I think your social's up, and then Marquis, your last on the social drop.
Oh yeah, Petty_Daniel on Twitter. You can find me all over the network. Monday night with this man next to me, Smoke, on the opening kick. Yeah, and like I said, we'll have to get the receivers up soon. Maybe we can get Mr. Maze back here with you guys on Tuesday nights. I'll be back in 45 minutes with the final whistle, and then on Thursday night, 7:30, going hard in the paint, talking Alabama basketball as we head into March Madness. So all over.
Somebody say J-Mo was that dude. Y'all left James Williams out.
That's what I'm saying. J-Mo off the list. Like, what we doing? J-Mo got something to say too. Palmer got Deuce got Pop got something to say too.
Should we do this next week?
I ain't gonna leave my dog Freddie Millens off, man. Come on, I ain't gonna show Fred no
love.
What
you mean? I said one time.
Well, let's go ahead. Let me ask this: what's going to be the ultimate defining criteria for who you pick? Are you looking at stats? Are you looking at skill set? What's your determining factors?
I'm always going to tell you, I'm drafting a player to build my team. Who do I want? That's it.
Man, y'all left somebody out too. He just had a horrible quarterback, Michael Vaughn. If Mike Vaughn had a real quarterback,
On a problem, brother.
He was a problem.
Real quarterback. Oh my God, that dude.
On a problem, brother. And let's kind of get crazy. Just none of y'all put Dabo Sweeney in this. All right, we ain't doing that. Don't.
I'm getting a text from Curtis Brown and Todrick Malone about this.
Todrick Malone, God bless those guys that played in the 80s and early 90s when we threw it 12 times. And man, I didn't want to hurt Maze's fault. Like, look, McElroy was Jay Barker Part 2. That was just a dude.
He just didn't get you beat.
Okay, here we go. Hey, Petty, I'm gonna throw the flag on you. You wait till the man go off to say that. You wait till the man go off, and I'm sitting there defending my guy. You wait till he go off for you to say that.
I couldn't get it in. I was trying to, but
he's trying to build relationships this first meeting.
Petty, nasty work. That's nasty work what you just did, bro. Knock it off.
I'll tell him when he comes on next show. I ain't scared.
Oh, you know what? Go to my man Sport Talking with JB. He got a list right there too. Smitty, Jonesy, Coop, Calvin, Deuce. What's Deuce? There's plenty of them because I got my Deuce. But I'm guessing
David Palmer.
Antonio Carter.
He's going with his Deuce. That's pop for him. Mine is Deuce. Deuce is my guy. Antonio.
All right, come back next week. We'll do this next Tuesday.
Top 5 fullbacks.
Oh, I like that.
What do you want?
We haven't had enough fullbacks to do a fullback list. You're gonna add, but the 5 we've had here.
Montoya Madden was played for a decade. He's on it like 3 times.
Terrence Lynch.
Yes.
Kevin Turner.
How about that's what I was about to say about Turner.
Kevin Turner was the dude.
Yeah.
Again, we've only had 5 in the history, so y'all gonna put all 5 of them on the list. Y'all just gotta pick which one y'all gonna put the 5 in.
Wait, now does Jalston Fowler count as a fullback?
Yeah.
LaRon McClain.
LaRon McClain. That's number 1. What about Big Red?
Dustin McClintock.
What about Big Red?
This ain't a beer drinking contest. We're talking about on the field play.
You didn't establish the criteria for that one.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm never gonna have a fullback list, nor am I gonna ever all centers list. They just don't count.
Trash can on wheels.
Trash can on wheels. Nobody that plays football ever wanted to play fullback. Every fullback wanted to run the ball, and they got pissed off and got overweight.
We're too slow.
Hey, look.
They were Marvin and played linebacker.
Ivan Williams come over to me. Don't you want to play fullback? Man, you don't go back over there. I'm not going over there with y'all. Oh, what? Well, athletes die. I'm not going.
I agree with
Busby did that though. Busby and all them coaches in the South that ran the wishbone took their middle linebacker and made his ass play.
There goes Andy. Andy, listen.
Dwight Stevenson. Hard to argue that one.
I'm never going to disrespect my elders. I'm not going to get into that one.
Wait a second. You said you're never going to disrespect your elders. You clearly, all of y'all clearly disrespected
we don't
your
hear about
elders.
EJ Junior being on the linebacker list. Justin, close the show. It's time to go.
He was a college football Hall of Fame
inductee.
All right.
You know what, Justin? You know what?
Next week. Next week.
You know what, Justin? This is your show. You're the host.
It's our show.
No. This is the Justin show right now. Right now, it's your floor. Give us your top 5 linebackers of all time. Everybody on this show gave their opportunity yesterday to get it off. We want to hear this. 6 this morning, I got a text saying, why did we leave EJ off? So go ahead.
Hey, all right. Number 1, consensus, Derek Thomas. Number 2, I went with EJ Jr. Number 3, Cornelius Bennett. 4, Keith McCants. Number 5, CJ Mosley.
Solid list. 1 spot better than Petty's.
Which is 2 spots better than Marvin's?
No, Marvin's 2. Petty, you're 3.
No.
So I'm now last?
Yeah, you're dead last.
Because I put a Mississippi boy. Y'all gonna hate on the Mississippi people.
You from Mississippi, y'all last in education, you last in every other category. So what difference does it make that you last in the list?
You hear that, Dwayne Rudd? I didn't say it.
You last in literacy, you last.
You ain't right, dog.
I was smarter. I take offense
how
to
to
that.
read. Now he want to make a list. He know how to read 2 days ago.
All due respect, my man 1-5 is from the SIP. Can't do that. Nasty work.
Boy,
Marvin.
Yeah,
I know
and-
some other people from Mississippi that I can bring up that's gonna be.
And so is one of your DBs, Deshae Townsend.
Yeah, knock it off. Not nasty work. Yeah,
Reggie.
the good people of Mississippi, K. Smith, Reggie
Hold on,
Miles.
hold
Don't
on.
let that man in. Don't let that man in y'all state.
And look who you just named.
So next week, we're doing the top 5 wide receivers. And JB, since you decided to volunteer yours, come on the show. We want to hear it. So we're going to start some controversy. So y'all get ready. And we're going to have to bring in a wide receiver to debate with us too. We'll figure out who that is and let you know who it is next week. But until
5,
then,
please. Can we get 1-5 on?
yes, we can get 1-5 on. Tell him to answer his phone.
Ooh, that'd be good.
He answers for me.
He
Sorry,
answers for
Jim.
me.
Well, okay. Anyway, that's going to do it for us here at the Bama Standard. We'll see you next week where people maybe appreciate me better. Catch Pettey in about 40 minutes for the final whistle, where he gets to show off and show out and carry the show with his mailbag feature, the best one that you'll ever watch. This is the greatest network there is, folks. We got a lot of content coming your way. Stay tuned. Until then, roll tide.
Roll Tide.
Bye.